Did we get the lights on? There's no lights. No, there's no lights. All right.
God, you have a camera on you? Oh my God. We're live. We're live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lewiston YWCA. Back here for another week of virtual swim meet for the Edward Little, Oxford Hills, Levitt,
St. John's.
Levitt, and this week we had a couple of athletes leave the team for some injuries, so we've actually added two more students from Lisbon High School as part of our team. We will be competing this week virtually against Wiscasset and Mount Ararat. Coach Morrison informs me both of those schools have already competed and completed their meet. So after tonight, Coach Morrison will compare our times to our two opponents, and we will review those. Once again, it's a pleasure to be joined by Coach Peter Caceres, Bates College head swim coach, who's going to give you the next level of swim knowledge that I could never dream of giving you.
Thank you, Todd. That's a very nice intro.
So we do apologize. We realized last week we had some major technical difficulties, but we have resolved those, and it appears by the feedback we're receiving that the signal and signal that is coming out tonight on the YouTube channel is strong, and we're going to be able to see the whole meet tonight. Once again, thank you to Jason Fuller and the Lewiston Athletic Department for allowing us to use their camera and to be able to broadcast it live on the Blue Devils YouTube channel. Peter, do we have some results from last week's meet that we can share? I know we had some personal best and some state qualifiers.
Yeah, Todd. You know, last week's performances against the Camden team were strong with a lot of in-season bests. A lot of good victories along the way. The girls 200 medley relay team of Cora Martell, Izzy Bellafiore, Emma Hefty, and Sam Poirier were champions in that meet with a time of 2:10, which is a great thing to see. Also in the girls 200 IM, Izzy won that event. Another great win for the EL team. Emma Hefty's 28-1 in the 50 was a meet first place. Andrew Casares 25-2 was a great 50 freestyle, and he also followed up that with a win in the 500 free. Emma Hefty in the 100 free. Some really strong performances to win those first places, plus all those in-season best times that we saw last week. So it was really great to see. In the end, Camden won both meets, but EL did a great job swimming fast, and that's what you're looking for at this point in the season. Looks like the pool is cleared, Todd. We've got our medley relays to start off the meet today. The girls 200 medley relay and the boys 200 medley relay will be combined for this first event. In lane 1, there is a mixed team relay happening between the schools that are all here present. Scott has informed us that Paul, Gavin, Nick, and Patrick are in that one for the boys. In lane 2, another mixed relay, Larissa, Lila, Jaylee, and Maddie D. In lane 3, we have an EL boys team of Jack, Connor, Andrew, and Isaac. In lane 4, an EL girls team of Maya, Izzy, Samantha, and Cora. And in lane 5, another mixed relay between the schools here tonight, Ellie, Emily, Sam, Dee, and Natalia. So it's great that he's putting relays together so all the kids get to experience that whenever possible. And the medley relay is 2 laps of backstroke, 2 laps of breaststroke, 2 laps of butterfly, and then you come home with 2 laps of freestyle.
And it's, like you said, it is great to have these relay teams because, once again, because of COVID and the restrictions of only having less than 50 people here inside the building, we're just here with our kids that swim with EL and our co-op teams. There are only 2 or 3 kids sitting on the sidelines right now that aren't participating in these relays. So just another opportunity for kids to participate and be active. It's a great sight.
Yeah, I mean, one of the truths in this sport is if you're not swimming, you're not getting any better. So I know when we're at Bates, whenever there's a chance to put in all of our relays, we put everybody in them and give them chances to swim and have all that hard work pay off. So a chance to get in the water, dive, and swim another race. Not only is that good for you and your events, but it also gets you ready for your next ones, to get the jitters out, to get the swim under your belt, and to start off with your teammates by your side. And like I said last week, for those that could tune in and could hear what we were talking about, the relays are just the pinnacle of high school swimming. You know, it's a very individual sport. You grow up training a lot by yourself underwater in the pool. You join club teams, you join Y teams, and you compete for times. But when you get to high school, you get to swim for a team. And so swimming on these relays, even with the co-op ones, it's so much fun to be there with your partners and the people that work hard with you. So here we go, the whistle is blown. It is the 200-yard medley relay. The backstrokers are in the water.
And we've mentioned this before, but Dean Bodwin and Tracy McLeod are our officials, 2 of the best in the business.
It's a clean start, Todd. We're off in the 50 back here, starting off this relay. It's a close race right now.
No, and as we've mentioned before in previous weeks, we will try to focus in on that scoreboard at the completion of the race. But it is an older scoreboard and it's a little sensitive, so we'll have Coach Caceres here to try to dissect some of those scores as they and times as they pop up.
That's a great start for Maya Vincent out there in lane 4, coming in at 33.9. She hands it off to Izzy. The girls are going to be looking hard to beat here. The boys are going to try their hardest to come up on them. But this is Izzy's best stroke, so she's going to fly through this one. 33.9 for Maya. I'm not sure what Jack Hart went there in the second place relay, but it was a good effort there for sure. So that's a 33 for her. That is a great 50 breaststroke time. I think now in lane 4, lane 3 coming up, we got Andrew Caceres trying to close the gap a little bit. Over there in lane 1 too, you've got a fast relay going on. That's Nick out there after Paul and Gavin had a great first 2 legs. We got 3 teams all coming into the wall at the same time here into the last leg.
What a great race.
This is what swimming's all about. They all dive in equal. They come up. It's still staying equal here. In lane 3, you got Isaac. In lane 4, you got Cora Martell. And in lane 6, lane 1, you've got Patrick. Looks like Isaac pulling ahead a little bit. Patrick's coming on hot. Cora Martell smoking this finish. The boys touch first, girls second, and the mixed team there in lane 1 for 3rd place.
It was great to see freshman Isaac Raymond there. He's going to be one of those swimmers that I think are going to have a great career here at Everett and kind of finish that off for that boys relay team.
I mean, the kid is tall. And he's got some years of TCSP under his belt at the local Y team, so great to see him coming here to the high school team and making an impact like that. Coming here in lane 2, finishing up Maddie D. Good finish there. Held her breath in their finish. Way to go. The next event is the 200-yard freestyle for the girls. And the 200 IM for the girls will be following that, followed by the boys 200 IM. Then we'll have the 50 freestyles, followed by the 100 fly, the 100 free, the 500 free, and then we'll get into the relays. So for those of you at home wondering what's happening, we got the 2 free and the 2 IM. Next on the docket, today's 200 free is Emma Hefty. Best time of the season is 2:12.8. This is one of her strong events.
And she's certainly well below that state qualifying time in this event.
Yeah, I wish I knew those state qualifying times. I'm sure you might. Oh, that's nice. Coach Morrison put them on the program for us, so if I could read, I'd be right on top of that. But yeah, I mean, if the state qualifying time's at 2:25 and she's already been 2:12, it shows you how strong Emma Hefty is for sure. Emma flips out at 30 point in the 50. That's a great start for her. She's well on her way to a 2:10 or better.
No, and I think certainly most of our swim fans that are tuning in tonight realize that Emma's already committed next year to Division I Merrimack College on a swim scholarship, which is very exciting and a tremendous accomplishment for her. And one of the highlights so far in our school year at Edward Little was her letter of intent signing, COVID style. We did it out in front of the statue this fall, and it was a great day there with her parents and her brother and some special friends. So very proud of Emma, and we're going to watch from afar the next couple of years as she's going to do great things at Merrimack.
Yeah, without a doubt, the college swimming for her is going to take her to the next level. And you know, Emma's been working hard for the last 4 or 5 years, going to swim camps and swimming locally with the Y team and putting in the effort. So, you know, she's done a great job preparing.
You know, one of the great things, and I got a chance to spend a little bit of time with the swim team today while we were taking our winter team photos, and we've got some tremendous athletes in this group, and they're all extremely humble and very polite and appreciative of everything that's been going on, and they're just happy to be out here and have an opportunity to be in the pool.
Yeah, I think, as I said last week, Todd, it's awesome to see them competing and racing and having these chances to swim for times and have meets virtually like this. I think she's going to be right around 2:10 here, 2:11.0. That's a season best for her, taking 1.8 seconds off her best time of the season. So a nice improvement there for Emma Hefty. I'm telling you, I'm jealous. We haven't even started practices yet at Bates College. The kids are arriving this weekend, and we're hoping to spend the next 3 weeks getting them in shape. You know,
yeah.
You guys are already swimming races and having a chance to do this, so this is a lot of fun to watch.
And we touched on it a little bit last week as well. Is one of the successes that Coach Morrison has on a yearly basis is each week he gets those kids improving their times each week, and really the ultimate goal is peaking for those state championship and KVAC races, and certainly it seems like this year the same thing's happening.
Yeah, I mean, just hanging out last week watching the swims and looking at the times and the improvements, you're seeing them get better week by week, and that's what you're really hoping for as a coach. That builds confidence. This is the 2 IM. Lane 1 we got Lila Bright, lane 2 we got Cora Martell, lane 3 Samantha Poirier, 4 Izzy Bellaflor, lane 5 we're going to bring the boys in, Andrew Casares, and lane 6 Gavin Holbrook. It's a good clean start there. 2 laps of butterfly, 2 of backstroke, 2 of breaststroke, and 2 of freestyle. So you can be a really good IMer if you're average at all 4. Most of these athletes tend to lean towards a stroke or 2, and they focus in on it, and so the ones that have taken the time to learn all 4 and get good at them really tend to take off in this event, and then they start to realize that versatility pays off, and they become excellent, and they go from good to great. So you see a lot of your best athletes in this event for sure.
It looks like a few of these athletes are swimming this event for their first time this season. No recorded time.
Yeah, we have some times from last year we can check out and see how they're doing in comparison. So when it's all said and done, we'll have a little bit of an idea how things went. Andrew Casares is out, I think a 103, 102.8 it says out there. He has not swam this yet. Izzy in lane 4 is out in 112. I looked through all this paperwork Coach Morrison gave me. I can check to see where we're at, but Andrew's best time last year was a 2:17, and Izzy's was a 2:20. So we'll see how they compare to those.
It looks like the state qualifying time for Class A on the girls' side is 2:45, and boys' side is 2:32.
Yeah, you keep an eye on that. We've got a great race over here in lane 2 and 3. Cora and Sam going head to head again. Andrew coming home on that freestyle leg. Izzy behind him. Gavin Holbrook for third right now. Just took the turn out there in lane 6. Andrew should be right around the 2:11, maybe 2:12. So seeing that he was 2:17 last year, that's a big drop. That's a nice time for him right there. Came home like a Cuban missile. Izzy coming in under 2:30 again. 2:28.8. That puts her in a great position to go a best time by the end of the year when she gets everything ironed out and she's at her peak.
Yep, and well below that state qualifying time.
Yeah, that's 2 state qualifying times. And then Gavin Holbrook out there in 6. Let's see if that time rotates around. 2:42. So he's not too far off. Sam comes in, and then Cora Martell with that great finish, holding her breath and getting into the end there. I think Cora might have broken 3 minutes. That would be fantastic. And also, Sam Poirier's best time of 3:03.94. She's under that hook. Let's see where lane 2 pops up at. I think 2:54, so that's a huge 7-second improvement right there for Sam. And Lila, freshman from Lisbon, coming in, finishing the hardest, one of the hardest events there. What a great showing. Yeah, Cora Martell, 2:57.4. That is under 3 minutes. That's a good swim. We got the 50 freestyle now. Several heats of this. The first heat, we've got Larissa Potvin in lane 2, Maya Vincent in 3, Samantha Dubois in 4, Natalie Russell in 5, and Jaylee Bushi in 6. This should be a good race. Maya has shown a lot of good talent over the years. Her 28.8 is her best time this year, so we're going to see if she can come up with that again. Maybe get that a little bit faster.
And state qualifying for both Class A and B in this event is 29.10.
Yeah. So Samantha Dubois has been 29.3. She's got a good chance at going that tonight, qualifying for state. So we'll check out lane 4 and see if she gets there. 50 free is the shortest race. It's the splash and dash. It all comes down to your start, turn, and finish. Most people are swimming very close to the same time, and you can see in this heat everybody's within a second of each other.
Should be a great race.
You should see a lot of these girls flipping at the same time, and it comes down to who can hold their breath and touch that wall first at the end. So the starter there is looking for everybody to come down at the same time, and if some people are a little bit nervous, you don't want to give one person an advantage over another, so that you have them stand up and then go after it again. As we expected, we've got 4 girls all flipping right around each other.
What a great race.
A good wall there in lane 3. Maya Vincent. She could be taking Samantha down there with her. Hopefully they both go under that 29. Oh, we got a good time here, folks. 29.7 in 4. So Samantha just misses out. Maya's time did not pop up there, but hopefully we see it when it's all said and done. I think it was a 29 low. Good race. It's hard to be fast every week in the 50 free. It takes everything to be perfect and a certain level of excitement. 29.02 for Maya, so she's right on her time from this year.
Yeah, some of the kids did share with me today while we were waiting for their turn in the photography line, Coach, was, you know, it is great to be able to swim, but they do miss that excitement of a packed pool deck when you've got your teammates and you've also got the opponents there, and there's a lot of noise and a lot of excitement. It really goes into a lot of, you know, individual motivation and self-motivation, and I'm hearing from them that's a little bit of what's missing here this year.
Without a doubt. In an event like the 50 free, that has a huge effect on things. When the crowd is really into it, and you know you got your parents in the stands watching you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just a little bit sharper. And
Yeah.
in an event that takes only 30 seconds, that makes a big difference. And you can see that. So
Typically here on a Friday night, we've got standing room only, and sometimes many of the parents are actually outside looking in through the glass windows because there's just not room here on the pool deck for
yeah,
them.
and some would say that those are the smarter parents with slight air conditioning out there. So yeah.
Well, that brings up a great question. One of our fans out in the YouTube world is asking, Coach, what's the ideal temperature for a pool? I mean, does that affect the swimmer's performance?
You know, Todd, actually it does. It does. I'll get back to that in a second. We've got Elizabeth Bean in 1, Emily Cummings in 2, Ellie Russell in 3, Katie Kimball in 4, Lydia Landry in 5, and Haley Cody in 6. So Scott's got a lot of his new kids in here swimming this race, getting some experience, and this is a great race to do it in. Freestyle is one of those strokes you learn first. So it's good to see all these swimmers who are getting that experience and going to be important players for the team as the years go on. So many of them become huge relay players and start to swim more seriously. That's a great time out there. 33.5, lane 3, Ellie Russell, way to go. Junior from St. Thomas. The perfect water temperature is in that 79 to 80 degree zone. And you know, 79 to 80 degrees sounds great if you're living in Maine, but you got to remember your body is sitting at a nice cozy 98 degrees.
Right.
So jumping into that is cool, and that's what we're looking for as swim coaches: is water that's not hot and it's not too cold. If it's super cold, then it's a distraction. If it's hot, you become dehydrated and it feels thick, it feels slow. So having it in that 79 to 82 range is ideal, and that's where the swimmers train a lot too. We got the boys 50 free here. Isaac, freshman from EL, Paul Dimitri in lane 3, and Patrick Manson in lane 4. Patrick told me before the meet he's trying to break 30 tonight.
Certainly he's right there.
He has a bit of a slow start there. It looked like hesitation on the block. Let's see if he can make it up in the pool. Paul's taking it out nice. He's looking spicy heading into this turn. Isaac, freshman, hits the wall first.
Yes, Paul Dimitri there. Paul's right out in front. I know he's got a lot of family and friends watching tonight. He's a big YouTube superstar. The family all across the state and nation are watching Paul tonight.
Yeah. So Isaac in lane 2 just takes it. I think a 28.96, slipping under 29. Paul in lane 3, second, maybe? Lane 3, second, 29.84, slipping under, and Patrick at 30.2. Man, if he was quicker off the blocks there, he would have had that 29.9.
You could tell he almost, just that hesitation, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, and that, you know, sometimes you're on the blocks and you're a little nervous, a little excited, and you wait for it, and then the starter gets it going, so it happens.
And that qualifying time was 26.5, so boys got a little bit of work to do to get there, but like you said, certainly don't need to be peaking at this time of the year. We got some time to continue to improve.
Right. There's the girls' 100 fly now, Emma Hefty coming in right after that relay. She swam that 2 free right after that 2 free. So this is Emma's first go at the 100 fly this year.
state qualifying time in this event is 1:19.
She was 1:11.8 last year. So we'll see how that compares. She did that in January of last year, so I don't really know what that means, to be honest with you, with the season being so different this year.
Right.
She's out in a 33, nope, 31.9. If she can hold on and come back in a 38 or 39, which would be doable, she should be under 110. It's getting a little tough in there, but that happens in the butterfly. You can go out fast and feel it. Oh, good wall there by Emma. Got to have the legs here at the end. Butterfly's tough. It's the only stroke you're taking both arms out of the water at the same time, causing tons of drag, tons of resistance. She comes home. Let's see what that clock says. Let's hope that clock works. Let's wait for it, folks. I'm not seeing anything on the clock. We're listening down on the deck to see if anybody caught a time.
Yeah, and once again, it did pop up. If that's accurate or not.
That is not a 124. Do we have a time down there, folks? Oh, trying to yell out to the coach. 108. 108. Thank you. There it is. 108. So somewhere in the 108 zone. The two assistant coaches getting backup times, Vanessa Williamson and Melissa Peone. So to hear that Emma Hefty just put down a 108 is a great swim for her. Much better than last year. And let's check out the cut time of 119. So that's another state cut for the Division I heading Emma Hefty.
You mentioned
wouldn't expect anything less, right, Todd?
Absolutely. Senior leadership at its finest. You mentioned our two assistant coaches, and we've mentioned it before, but absolutely great opportunity for our athletes to work with Melissa Peone and Vanessa Williamson, both college assistant swim coaches that due to COVID didn't have any place to coach this winter, and we jumped on the opportunity to bring those two fantastic young ladies on board to be around our athletes.
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of coaching Melissa for 4 years, and to get an athlete like her out of Yale High School and the Twin Cities team was just awesome to work with. And she improved greatly, and she is so knowledgeable. She's worked our camps and led lectures, and she is a tremendous young coach coming up in the ranks with tons of knowledge. And Vanessa, our associate head coach, actually, she could take over the program in a heartbeat. So I'm very excited to have her on my pool deck. It's awesome that she's here with these high school kids, sharing her enthusiasm and love for the sport too. We got the 100 free here. Katie Kimball, Kaylee Bushi for the girls. In lane 2, we've got Jack Hart. In lane 5, Connor Simpson. In lane 6, Paul Dimitri. So, interesting how Coach Morrison spread out Connor and Jack here. I know they like to go head to head. Jaylee in the middle holding her own. Paul coming in hard.
Qualifying times in these events for the ladies, Class A is 105, and the boys 59 flat.
I missed their out time, but these boys are fighting hard. Looks like a great wall there by Connor. Jack Hart going into this last, holding his breath, giving it all he's got. Connor comes up there with the victory, 59-0. Jack with a 59-8. Man, those are right on those state cuts. They are there in the next meet or two, without a doubt. Jaylee Bushi in lane 3, followed by Paul Dimitri. Katie Kimball, a sophomore at EL, bringing it home now.
One of the questions we got last week, Peter, was is it common for all of these combined races? And I think it's just, the situation with us being virtual that you know, we don't have the other teams, relay teams, and we don't have the other teams swimming, you know, in these events, and it just makes sense to combine the boys and girls events together and get this in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of different things going on here. One, there's no other team, so if you can combine the events and have similar distance events going on the same time, it makes the meet more efficient, which is good. It's tiring for the kids, and that's not a bad thing right now, because it's another moment for them to be training and working hard. So at the end of the year, when things slow down, they'll have more time to recover between races and feel really good. The second thing is, you know, at a meet, when you have another team here, you're just not usually combining girls and boys events at all. And I think there's benefits to that combination right now. I think there's benefits to separating them out. And you know, there's always good that you can find if you're looking for it. So it's not usual at all. And the other thing is you know, the YW here has got us on a time constraint. So we're putting it together and making sure that we're out of here before our time is done at this pool. And Scott's doing it in a way that makes sense for his athletes, so that they have some rest, but they can also get the races done and done correctly. So I'm not sure, we might have a little bit of a break here going on.
Yeah, I think they're just getting some...
getting ready for the 500 free.
Letting everybody catch their breath a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not usual, and you know, one of the standard protocols usually is if you are combining the two genders, there's a lane of separation between the two.
Yep.
And that's if you want to make things really official and whatnot. But right now, this is a dual meet on a Friday night with a team in another part of the state that's already swam.
Right.
And Scott's looking for experience. He's looking for something that's hard, that makes them stronger and makes them tougher. And he's giving them chances to swim races and get out of here learning something. And you know, the two assistant coaches that he's got here, they're videotaping these races and sharing them with the kids, so they're learning a lot from all these things.
Yeah, I know in the preseason when we were still in the designation of yellow as a county and we weren't able to have the in-person coaching, you know, to have Coach Pioni use some of her college contacts was a real benefit. Our kids were able to Zoom with some high level, and thank you for your time. I know that you spent a session with our high school kids as well, but to be able to kind of leverage some of those contacts she has in the college swim world and give that experience to our kids was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a brilliant move by Melissa. I mean, everyone loves Peony, and she was a huge part of our program over her 4 years, and so she reached out to many of her teammates above and below and in her class, and they were eager to help and share their love for the sport with the team here. And what you got was a group of high school kids that were getting a lot of knowledge and a lot of motivation for their season, given the uniqueness of their season. It's something you just don't get in a regular year because you're so busy training and showing up to practices and school and doing your day-to-day stuff. So to have that extra time and to get creative was a real nod to her vision, and I'm really excited that they heard from so many great people. I mean, the associate head coach at Tufts talked to them. One of our former swimmers, Josh Rhines, who's now working at BC with their swim team, gave a talk to them. Vanessa, Coach Williamson, gave some stroke talks. Melissa herself gave some stroke talks. So it was like an all-star group of coaches and athletes that have come through the Bates program and are friends of hers, are friends of our program in general at Bates that she pulled upon. And it was really cool to see them sharing and helping out with the local kids here in the EL team.
I think, you know, you've mentioned a couple times, if you can find a silver lining in all of this COVID-19, it's some of these creative, resourceful ways to kind of get this knowledge to the kids. I think one of the ones they talked about was just nutrition, and what do you put in for fuel into your body, you know, the week of and the day before meet. So it's another positive as we try to stay positive in these crazy times.
And I'll tell you, Todd, if you're not looking for the silver linings, it's going to be a really rough time. So you're right, man. They're out there, and you got to find them, and it's great that they have a chance to do that. We got the 500 free here, 20 lengths of the pool. Start time is 6:30 for the girls and 6:05 for the boys. Izzy Bellaflor in lane 4 for the girls team. In lane 6, Nicholas Terrell, and in lane 5, Isaac Raymond. So you got Nicholas, a senior from Levitt, Isaac, a freshman, and then Izzy, a senior from EL. Lengths of the pool. This is kind of like putting your kid in a backpack and hiking up Mount Kineo, Todd. This event can take forever. You can wonder why you're doing it, but then you can have a lot of fun when you get to the top and you're done.
When you get to it at the end, it's that sense of accomplishment.
Sure is. You got to pace yourself though, and they're out in 107 here, 109 for the boys. I didn't catch Izzy's time, but she's probably in that 111 zone. And if you think about it, if they're going 110s and there's 5 100s, they're right around that 6-minute mark. They're going to get fatigued as the race goes on, so you're looking at a bunch of times in that 6 minute to 6:30. That would give Izzy a shot at the stage cut here. The boys are getting some valuable experience and doing one of the harder events to make some of those other events seem a lot easier.
What do you talk to your athletes about, Peter, in this event? Because I'm sure, because it is a long distance, you've got to worry about coming out too fast. You've got to worry about taking too much time off in the middle, and then, you don't want to have too much left in the tank when you get to the end either, right?
Exactly. So there's a lot of stuff you just said there that's right on, and it's complicated because a race that takes 5 to 10 minutes is you can go at it a bunch of different ways. I tell my athletes, you got to swim a 500 like it's a 500 for the first 300 yards. And when you hit that 8th length and you're at the 200-yard mark, are things going well or am I really tired right now?
Yeah.
And if things are going well, you're going to build that next 100 yards so that when there's 200 left, you swim it like a 200. And some people forget that and they swim the 500 like it's a race right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Or some people are waiting until the very end to put it into gear. So you start out smart, but then around that 200, 300 mark, you're judging, how do I feel? Can I hold this? Do I have another gear in me?
Yep.
And for the most part, these swimmers are breathing heavy, their body's aching, their lungs are burning, and they're wanting to breathe every stroke and get as much oxygen back into their body as possible, and you can see it happening right now. So you usually get to this middle point here, and they're flipping right around 3:30 right now. It's a great race among all 3 of them.
It really is.
And so you're 3.5 minutes into a 6-minute race, and you're going, I got to hold on. And they're holding on right now with everything they've got. Izzy's very experienced, so she might be saving a little bit of her legs for the end. I remember my first time swimming this, I saved it all for the last 50 yards, like a true rookie would. And I looked awesome those last 50 yards, but I was already way up behind everybody else, so it was a little bit tougher on the front half. So this event, you need a lot of swims in it. You need a lot of experience. But like I said earlier, it's one of those events you feel really great about when you're done. So Izzy's at 4:10. 4:09, 4:10 here. Good race. In lane 5, Isaac showing his versatility. Nick staying tough there in lane 3. Izzy going from 4:09 to 4:45. So she's holding 35s right now. She comes home at a 1:10. She's going to be right around 5:55. So it looks like Izzy's going to be around 5:55. And Isaac might be getting a state cut here if he can get under 6 minutes. 6:05, he's going to be close, folks. Nick with a good wall there. He's working hard. Oh, Izzy's speeding up. She's feeling good coming home. Both these swimmers are going to have state cuts here. This is a great swim. Isaac's first swim of the season in the 500. A state cut for the freshman. Izzy looks like she's going to come home right around a 5:54. That's well under 5:56.
What a great swim.
And 5:58 for Isaac. That's a state cut. And look at this. Nick is just seconds off his state cut also. 6:08. That's a huge drop from 6:17 in his previous swim. So he just took 11 seconds off his time, 8 seconds off his time. That is great.
Okay. Hey, we just received word from our crack research staff.
Nice. I love this.
Izzy recently committed to the College of Worcester in Ohio.
Oh, the College of Worcester. So listen to this, Todd. My second job coaching was at Kenyon College in Ohio. And right down the road was the College of Worcester. So I got to know Rob Harrington, the head coach there, very well. And so she is going to have a great head coach there. And then also another interesting connection is when I was at Kenyon College, I was an assistant coach. And Kenyon had won 29 national titles in a row. So I was lucky to be there. And the assistant coach that had been there for years before me was Amy Heasley Williams, a national record holder in the 200 butterfly. She said it in 1986. It lasted all the way to 2002. She is now the new AD at Worcester.
That's how it's
So Izzy is going to a place with an athletic director that is a former national record holder in the 2 fly and a great swim coach in Rob Harrington at a great school in Ohio. And she's in the best conference in the country for Division III swimming.
And I'll
next to the NESCAC, of course.
And I'm biased, but I think they're getting a heck of a swimmer and a even better young person. Izzy is a great kid, and she's a tremendous Red Eddie. So congratulations to her, and we will follow her career from afar as well.
She is talented, folks. There's no doubt about it. And the College of Worcester is lucky to have her. We got the 200 free relay here. In lane 1, we've got Haley, Elizabeth, Larissa, and Lila. In lane 2, another mixed full relay, Jaylee, Natalia, Emily, and Ellie. In lane 3, we've got Emma, Cora, Katie, Kay, and Lydia. And in lane 4, Paul, Patrick, Gavin, and Nick. Out to 30.7 there for Emma. Getting a nice lead for the little girls team. Cora Martell into that turn, looking great. Patrick Manson coming in hard here. Natalia in lane 3 with a great turnover. She is a competitor. She is working hard there. That's a great swim from her. Cora holds on to the lead. Gavin Holbrook pops in there in lane 4. He is a good sprinter, folks. Katie Kay, Emily is in the water in lane 2. Larissa on the box in lane 1, about to dive in. Gavin opens it up with a good turnover, some good discipline. Snuck in a little breath there at the end or two. Got to get rid of those if you want to get to that next level. Gavin knows that. Good to see him though. Moving so fast. A newcomer, Lydia Landry, bringing it home in lane 3. Lane 4, Nick taking it home for the boys. They're home in a 1:57.6. Breaking 2 minutes there. We got mixed relay in lane 2 and second with a 2:11. Very nice swim. Cruising through this meet. 100 backstroke next.
That certainly is the advantage of combining some of these events. and not having the opponent here in the same facility with us. They are, the meets are very efficient. Sure, you folks out there in the swim world know that if you've ever been to a conference championship or a state meet, they can take the better part of a day to complete, but certainly just having our team in the pool, it makes things move along pretty quickly.
Yeah, you know, I can't lie, I'm a swim coach and I can't stand watching a swim meet. It's a lot of back and forth, and it's a lot of waiting around for a short amount of time with your kid, but what's really cool when you get into the sport and you start to get invested in the team that your kids are part of is you start to know all the swimmers on the team, and you know their times, and you know when they swam well and when they haven't, and that's what makes it really special, and it makes those meets go better. But you know, they complain about baseball taking forever, other sports, this and that. Swimming needs to continue to evolve and to try to make it as entertaining as possible. I kind of like what we're seeing here. I wonder if this stuff is going to stick, where the meets go a little bit faster, the swims come up, and then you can slow it down at the end of the year when it's time to give the kids the time to rest, swim their lifetime best and go for it. But this is exciting. I mean, we're getting through a meet quickly here. They swim fast, they get some good feedback, they get in better shape, and then they get home for their Friday nights, and their parents are at home enjoying themselves watching the live stream with Todd Sampson at the mic.
That's right.
All right, we've got the 100 backstroke next.
You know, Peter, one of the things that one of our viewers wanted us to touch on, you know, and he used the term back in the day. Back in the day, there was diving.
Yes.
What's happened to the diving world in high school swim and dive?
Well, Todd, lawyers have happened to the divers.
Yeah.
It's hard to find an indoor pool in the state of Maine with a diving board. You know, there's a depth, there's a need for a depth kind of standard. Usually it's around 12 to 14 feet nowadays. And if your pool's not there, they don't really want to take the risk of having divers go off the blocks. There are several teams out there that have diving. A lot of them train together. They find places to get together, and different high schools have one coach that's trying to give them opportunities to learn and to do that. I know our diving coach at Bates, Mike Bartley, worked with 4 different high school teams at one point down at Cape Elizabeth because they had a pool and a diving board there. So if your teams don't have diving, you race head-to-head without it. If one team does, they score the diving points and you don't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it goes, but it's a liability that schools and aquatic directors have to decide if they're going to take on or not. I'd love to see more diving because not a lot of kids ever get hurt on the diving boards, to be honest with you. A lot more injuries in other sports than diving, if you look at the statistics. But when they've got injuries do happen, they're big. So people are nervous. This 100 backstroke is great. Maya and Samantha look like they're going head-to-head really nicely here. You know Maya's a great backstroker. 115 is the standard. You got Ellie Russell in lane 2, Larissa Poffin in 5, Maya in 3, and Sam DuBois in 4. We're out in 37, 38. Double that, you're looking at sub 120. So they're right around that 115, 116 mark. It's going to be close to the state cut. This is a good first swim for Maya of the year in the 100 backstroke. Sam was a 120 before. Ellie Russell in lane 2 was 123. So we'll see how it looks. Oh, Maya with a great back half here. She's coming home in a 114 high. That's a state cut right there. I don't know why it says 116. I think that time was soft. Oh no, that's lane 4, 116.8. I'm not sure that the time registered in lane 3. Ellie was right on her time of 123, exactly the same. Samantha went from 120 to 116, so that's a great 4-second drop. And Maya, 114.8, it just popped up there. It did register. Good time. That's a state cut for Maya Vincent. She is turning out to be very versatile and a very valuable member of the team. It's great to see a sophomore there doing it in so many events.
So Peter, if you know, what are some of the restrictions? How many events could a Maya Vincent swim in one meet? Are there restrictions on that?
Yes, you are, I believe, allowed 4 events in a high school for scoring purposes. 2 relays, 2 individual events. It may be 3 events. I'm not sure what the high school rules are. The more I think about it, the more I think it might only be 3 that you're allowed at the high school level. In college, we have 16 events at our meets, and so you're allowed 4.
Yep.
When we drop down to 12 events, you're only allowed 3, and I believe there's 24 events here, so if we count the boys and the girls, that means 12 each, so I'm sure it's 3 events total they're allowed to score in. So Scott's got to look at the state results throughout the course of the year and decide which events his kids are scoring the highest in, and then it's 2 relays and 1 individual swim, or it's 2 individual swims and 1 relay. And that's what you're kind of restricted to, one of those 2 combos. Relays are worth a lot, so it's hard not to put your best swimmers in the relays. But at the same time, if you're not putting people in individual events, other teams are. So it takes a lot of thinking and figuring out, and Scott's really great at that. So we really put together a good lineup.
I was going to mention, I think that's one of the things that Coach Morrison enjoys the most. You know, as he handed us 57 sheets of statistics and best times in the KVAC before the meet tonight to do our intensive prep work. I think he enjoys looking through that and seeing where can I put a Maya Vincent or a Sam Poirier that's going to score us the most points at the end of the day when we get to that conference meet.
It's true. There is a lot of time and effort that can go into that. And Scott's got the brain to handle that. Lane 4, Connor Simpson, 110, dropping 4 seconds and getting the state cut. Looking great. Lane 3. I don't see a time there for Nicholas. Patrick Manson in 5, 120. Another 2-second drop for Patrick. And Jack Hart with his first 100 back of the year. Well, that's another season best then if it's his first one, Todd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it looks like 111 there for Nicholas. So a 3-second drop for him. Both of those boys with state cuts. Seniors from Levitt and EL.
And certainly Connor and Jack have been with the team for quite some time, and they're a great addition. I think those are the types of kids that we're really going to miss
oh my gosh,
next year.
Without a doubt. I completely enjoyed last year's locker room antics when they'd get in that room and have some fun and fool around in there and come out laughing. Andrew, my son, was lucky to have Jack and Connor there last year, really welcoming them onto the team. He just thinks the world of them, so I know as a dad with a son on the team how great those 2 boys are. 100 breaststroke here. Lila in lane 1, Cora Martell in 2, Samantha Poirier, senior, in lane 3, freshman Natalie Russell from St. John in 4. Oh, she's not here tonight. Gotta look up on the page. And Emily Cummings in 5, a junior from Oxford. State cut here is 124. Cora was 128. Sam was 127 last week. We're hoping they improve on those times. This is Lila's first swim and Emily's of the season. Out in the 41, so they're looking at 125s, 124s, which would be a nice improvement if they hold on to this pace.
Now, I've mentioned this before, but one of the great things is Scott, Coach Morrison, is such a promoter of swim, high school swim in the state, that he welcomes our friends and individuals to co-op, and certainly having Emily Cummings from Oxford Hills. Cummings' name is well known out in the Oxford Hills area. Tremendous athletic family out there, and we just enjoy having her being part of the program as well.
Without a doubt, anytime you can spread that swimming love around and get more people involved, the better off you are. Oh, Cora coming in hot here at the end. Sam out touches her 129. The score is probably right there at 129 high also. And Emily Cummings with a 138.
So, Coach, do you have any inside scoop on this race? Did Andrew give you any tips on what he might try to accomplish here in this next race with the boys' 100-yard breaststroke?
You know, he's a hard kid to talk to. No, I'm just joking. I was lucky enough maybe 2 weeks ago to head up to a Y meet up in Augusta that he swam the 100 breast in, and I think he was right around 110. So I think he's thinking right around that time would be great. I haven't chatted with him about the 100 breast in a while, and I know this is one of Gavin's best events also, so I suspect these two boys are going to have a good race between the two of them.
And the state qualifying time is 1:17, so that 1:10 time you mentioned was well below that. So, and hopefully swimming right next to each other in the pool is going to get the competitive juices flowing a little bit too as well.
Yeah. They've been teammates over the last couple of years here at TCST training, and now they're on the same high school team together. It's great to have Gavin come up, and I think they're going to have a pretty strong relay here. Gavin's very much a sprint freestyler, sprint breaststroker. And Andrew's, he's the 400 IMer, so he's versatile in all 4 strokes. Trying to work on his backstroke. So maybe next week we'll see a little bit of that bouncing around in the pool. But this 100 breaststroke, he's going to try to improve in and help out his IM. It's not one of his top events, but it's definitely one of the ones that he wants to improve and keep getting better at. As I said last week, Tom, this is one of the harder events.
Yeah.
You are underwater a lot more in this event than any other event. And you're creating a ton of resistance when you stick that
drag.
There's not many strokes where you take your hands underwater and shoot them forward. And anytime you shoot your hands forward underwater, you're creating propulsion in the wrong direction. So you have to overcome that and have those big underwater pullouts where you're holding your breath. That's a very aggressive tempo from Andrew. I hope he can hold on to it. He's out in a 33. He comes home in a 36. He should be 109. I think he's going to be 110. Gavin had a great pullout there and just pulled even with him, even though he's out a second slower. See if they can hold on here. Gavin may have taken the first half out a little smarter. We'll see if Andrew can hold on. Gavin's got a big pull here. It's going to be tight coming home. Andrew picks the tempo back up after that third length reaction a little bit. He's going to hold on. Back in the 110.7.
That's right where he wanted to be.
Yep, 111. Both the boys are heading to the States in that event if they want to. Put things in perspective, when Melissa Peony was a senior, she went 103 for me. So you know how talented she was. She's definitely got some thoughts on that event every time she watches it. I learned from her when she talks about breaststroke. All right, that was the last individual event of the night. We're into the 400 free relays right now. It's going to be one last heat here, folks.
Getting a lot of positive feedback, Peter, from our friends out on the YouTube channel. Certainly happy that we can do this, as the parents can have an opportunity to watch. And once again, just feel awful about the live stream last week not being where it needed to be.
We need to encourage those YouTube followers to send questions in anytime to you, Todd. And
absolutely.
We'll be happy to have an interactive broadcast here at the YWCA in Lewiston, Maine, home of your EL Ready. EL Red Eddie. You know, I love this relay, Todd. It's the hardest relay in the book. People will tell you the 800 free relay is tougher because it's longer, but this is the event that you can just absolutely just, you know, go after that pain and agony, kill yourself in. You're breathing heavy, your body's going full speed, everything's just falling apart at the end, and you're trying to hold on for dear life. And the best thing is you got your teammates clapping and yelling and screaming for you because it's the last event of the day and everybody's excited to see something special. So I'm always enjoying this event. Love to see the energy and enthusiasm. 104 there.
And I know you've...
For Connor, Maya comes in at 108.
I know you've seen 1,000 more swim meets than I have, but my experience has been many of the high-level conference championships and state championships come down to this event. You know, the best teams, and it's going to be within a point or two, and the entire pool deck is just going crazy with excitement watching this event happen.
It's always a special moment when the meet comes down to that last event, and you know, 24 events later, 12 events later, whatever it is for you and your team, all those swims, all those points that were scored, and like win or lose, I always tell our team, if it matters in the last race, what happens in the last race matters. You just experience something really special. And you know, in life, when you leave high school swimming, when you leave high school sports or college sports, you don't get moments that matter like this to an entire team right at the end. So, you know, this event has something special, and it always, and it's the last swim of the night for these kids, so they always put a little extra into it. So it's just a great finish.
No reason to leave anything in the tank. Just great.
So many times when you watch these events and you're swimming in a meet and there's another team next to you, you start doing things you never knew you could do. The adrenaline's there and the desire to beat the other teams there, and so close race at the end of the meet is always exciting. These are really good swims out of both swimmers right now. Tempo's there, the breathing pattern's where you want to see it. They're still in control, they're working hard. The kick's coming in. Good relay start there. Jack bringing it home. Samantha coming in right now for her last 4 lengths of the night. So what we're looking for here in the freestyle race is someone's tempo to be strong the entire way, for their walls to be long. It's faster underwater than it is on top. As crazy as that sounds, there's less resistance under there than there is on the surface. So you're looking for your swimmers to push off the wall and stay under. You're looking to see that they're not breathing every stroke and coming up short and dying. Right now, Jack's coming off this last wall with a good streamline past the flag. Needs air. That's pretty normal. Want that kick to be there at the end also. Jack's coming in at a 4:09. That's a good swim for those boys. Here comes Samantha with an excellent last wall with 2 dolphin kicks underwater. Her tempo is still there. She's bringing it home nicely. Let's see if she can hold her breath into the finish. Oh, she has locked it in. That is impressive. The last 12 strokes without a breath. I'm impressed.
That was a fun race. We had one of our viewers ask if we knew what the fastest time was in this event, and certainly I don't have the high school federation standards on there, but I did take a picture of the Edward Little school record, and I personally know these folks. They graduated in their class of '89 with me. That school record on the men's side for the 400 is 3:26. 3:28, my apologies. Mike Anderson, Sean Bazinet, Lucian Willette, and I believe it was Todd Booten had that record. And on the women's side in the 400, stop me if you've heard this name before, Vanessa Williamson was a member of that team. Coach Williamson at 3:51.27. There was another Booten on that team. a Labrie and a Wong. So that's some pretty fast times in that 400 freestyle.
Without a doubt, those are excellent times.
So another meet has come and gone. Once again, thank you for the positive feedback. Sounds like this live stream was much better than next week. And we will, last week, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I was already thinking about next week.
Next week we will be even better.
We will be even better.
Don't go that direction.
It will be even better next week. 6 o'clock, we'll be right back on the Lewiston High School Blue Devil YouTube. And once again, thanks to Jason. And thanks to our cameraman, Max Sampson. Did a great job tonight. And Coach Caceres, it was a pleasure to talk a little swimming with you tonight.
Always a good time. I love watching the swim meet. Thanks for entertaining me a little bit here and allowing me to share my joy for the sport.
Awesome. Have a great week, folks.